Post-fight reaction, guys. Post-fight reaction. If you've seen the fight, you know what I'm talking about. Joyce stops Carlos Takam in 6 rounds. Again, Joyce beats Carlos Takam within 6 rounds. 4 rounds quicker than Anthony Joshua was able to beat Carlos Takam. What happened? Did you see the fight? What did you think about the fight? Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Drop your comments in the comment section below. If you want to hit me up on social media, hit the link and follow me at KO Boxing Vibe 1 on Twitter, official KO Boxing Vibe on Instagram, and let's jump into this. Joyce, as I said, beats Carlos Takam within 6 rounds. He stopped him, but it was a shaky fight. You know, round 1, the fight kicked off. You know, Takam was looking, in fact, for me, Takam won the first round, and arguably he won the second round. You know, he unloaded. The amount of right hands that Takam landed on Joyce was ridiculous, man. I was like, raw. If it wasn't for Joyce's chin, like, this guy would have been sleeping on the canvas. Joyce came in there in the first round. You know, he heavily relied on his chin. You know, and Joyce's slow hands was kind of, it made it easier for Takam to land some of these hooks and land some of these winging right hands that he was throwing. You know, and Takam had a lot of energy in that very first round. You know, caused Joyce a lot of problems. Second round, similar kind of story. Third round, Joyce started to come into it a little bit more, because it's weird that Takam really slowed down quite a bit in the third round, so it gave Joyce the opportunity to come in and land a few of his shots. Joyce was trying to hit Takam to the body, you know, and you know what really made it difficult for Joyce in terms of his jab, compared to how he was able to have success with his jab against Daniel Dubois, was that Takam loves to do does that bobbing and weaving, side to side, getting down low. Like, he does a lot of that. So Joyce wasn't really able to, obviously he was landing his jab, but he wasn't able to have the same success that he was able to have against Dubois or some of these other opponents that, you know, don't have the greatest head movement, like the Ustinovs of this world, or even what's this guy's name, Bermain Stavern, obviously the Stavern that Joyce fought, and even Brian Jennings. They don't bend at the waist and, you know, slip and that kind of thing, because Takam managed to slip quite a lot of Joyce's shot jabs, and you know, that made it a bit difficult for Joyce, because he's not that quick of a guy. But Joyce was walking Takam down for majority of the fight, despite taking shots. And when Takam looked like he was having like a lot of success in landing his right hands, Joyce started to unload his own arsenal. You know, he came into the ring with his Juggernaut helmet and that. He's really going with the Juggernaut. So now what we got the Juggernaut, we got the Bronze Bomber, we got AJ, we got the Gypsy King. Like, we need to make like a Marvel movie for these guys or something. Some ulterior timeline or something like that. We got the Juggernaut versus whoever. But before we jump, let's not jump into talking about Marvel movies. But Joyce, obviously, round 4. I felt like in round 4 and round 4 or 5, you know, Joyce started to have a bit more success and take more control over the fight, because Takam started to slow and he started to land single shots. He wasn't opening up as much as he was before. I think he used a lot of energy in the opening going. And the problem is for Takam is that he had a lot of success in landing shots on Joyce on the chin, but the chin is just too, like, Joyce's chin is just too strong. They asked Takam at the press conference, do you think you've got the Sam Jones? Is it Sam Jones or who asked him? No, it wasn't Sam Jones. It was the guy that was moderating. They asked Takam, do you think you've got the power to really, you know, land on Joyce? You know, to really knock him out? And Takam was like, why would you ask me? You think I don't have the power? Why would I be here? Big man, Takam ain't got the power to knock out Joyce, bruv. Round 5, round 6. Round 5, pretty much what we had, you know, in round 4. Round 6, you know, I'm just off the fight right now. If I watch the fight back, I'll probably know more of what actually happened. I'm just coming off it. Round 6, early going, Joyce, I think it was a hook that he landed, you know. A left hook he landed on Takam. Takam buckle, stumble back. And then he tried to go into bobbing and weaving. He had no energy for the bobbing and weaving, weren't there. He was just there trying to basically he wasn't firing back, you know, and Joe Joyce was landing shots, clubbing shots, and then he landed the right hand on Takam that kind of sent him back, and the referee jumped in to stop it, and Takam was going crazy, like he was mad. He was like, what? He pushed the ref back. He's like, why did you stop me? Why did you stop me? He's like, what? I'm ready to continue. But you know what happened? I expected. I said, listen, if Joe Joyce has Takam in any trouble, or he's not throwing shots back, or the fight potentially goes 12 rounds, you know, Joe Joyce is going to win on the scorecard. Because for goodness sake, Daniel Dubois was beating Joe Joyce. So was it on one of the scorecards or two of the scorecards? What kind of nonsense is that? No. Takam only shot, for me to really not hard done by it, was to actually knock Joe Joyce out. And Takam, he landed a lot of shots on Derek Chisora that he couldn't knock him out clean. And Takam's not that guy that really's got that one shot devastating punching power. So I never really felt like he could knock out Joe Joyce. That's just my opinion. And I expected Joe Joyce to win. I thought Joe Joyce would win maybe later on in the fight. I was thinking if he stops Takam, it could be round 10 plus, or if maybe a UD, unanimous decision victory, but he managed to get it done within 6 rounds. So hats off to Joe Joyce for the win. Obviously, you know, I don't still think this was one of the greatest performances from Joe Joyce. It was too easy for Takam to land shots in the opening going. And if Joe Joyce goes on to fight AJ with AJ's punching power and athleticism, or he goes on to fight a Deontay Wilder with his punching power, or Dillian White with that left hook, I don't know if how Joe Joyce is going to fare with their kind of punching power, because they have some freakish power, you know, that's going to be tough. And I don't think is there guys on this planet that could just be taking big shots like that from those 3 guys I've mentioned. I'm not really sure, but obviously he won the fight, stopped Carlos Takam. Takam, for me, got stopped because he wasn't throwing any shots back. He didn't throw any shots back. If Takam had thrown shots back, the fight wouldn't have been stopped, and the ref basically jumped in to believe he's saving Takam from further punishment. So it is what it is. Drop your comments in the comment section below, guys. What did you think about the fight? What do you think about Joe Joyce? What do you think about Joe Joyce going on to fight maybe Usyk or Anthony Joshua for the WBO? Can he beat any of those guys? Can Joe Joyce beat Anthony Joshua in a British dust-up? That's a question. Because for me, if Anthony Joshua is not able to get Joe Joyce out of there, I highly suspect that Joe Joyce will beat Anthony Joshua. That's just my opinion. The work rate is unbelievable. Takam was getting tired here. Joe Joyce work rate just ran him over. You know, steamrolled him, juggernauted. You know, came through and juggernauted him proper. Devastating fashion. You know, so if AJ comes in there and his tats don't lead to any purchase, I believe he's going to get stopped. He's going to get tired and he's going to get stopped. If you get tired against Joe Joyce, I'm telling you now, you are getting stopped. Drop your comments in the comment section below, guys. Let me see what you guys think about the fight. Cool.